exclusive interaction FGE के चेयरमैन Fereidun Fesharaki के साथ इनफैक्ट हमारे मैनेजिंग एडिटर की जब बात हुई, आपको ये इंपॉर्टेंट इंटरेक्शन सुनवाते हैं.
Dr. Fesharaki, it's been an extraordinary spike in crude. The spike in Jan, the follow-up in December, in Feb, and the surge in December. Do you think crude prices are getting too hot and these levels are unlikely to sustain?
Well, there are three factors that they need to separate from each other. What is the fundamentals? What is the issue of the fundamentals of the market? The second is geopolitical tensions. And the third is whether there will be a deal with Iran or not. These three are the ones which will determine the level of price. If you look at fundamentals alone, the price should be somewhere in the range of $80, $85 by itself. Why? Because already we are in February 2022, and the demand is already back to 2019 levels. So we already have resolved the demand issue. So the only thing which remains for us to resolve is the supply issue. And the supply issue is in the hands of OPEC Plus. And OPEC Plus have been slowly putting volumes in the market over the past few months, and they intend to do it. But they are facing problems among their own members that they cannot hit the capacity that they want. Every month, OPEC Plus says, I put in 400,000 barrels per day. The reality is that something like about 50-60% of that is put in the market. So additional volume are not coming in because people just don't have the capacity. Only the Saudis and Abu Dhabi have capacity. Everybody else is almost tapped out. So this is the fundamentals are very strong. The geopolitics relating to tensions with Russia, tensions potentially with the conflict with Iran, probably account for $3 to $5 of the price, but it's not bringing the price to these levels. What brings the price are the more fundamentals. Now, if we don't have a deal with Iran in the next 3 weeks, the prices will be well ahead of $100 a barrel because the OPEC capacity is not there. OPEC doesn't have enough capacity to continue the 400,000 barrels per day. And sometimes by September of 2022, we know that they're going to be running out of capacity, giving a cushion of 2 million barrels per day capacity, which is market needs for comfort. That level can be reached by September. So without Iranian crude, we have a disastrous environment in front of us between now and 2025.
Dr. Fesharaki, the fact that US now is an exporter of crude, how does this change equation from the previous time when crude prices were $100 versus now?
Well, the issue is not the supply, the issue is the demand. The demand is too high. The demand came back very furiously and much more than everybody expected. People were talking about end of 22, maybe end of 23, the demand will come back. Some big companies like British Petroleum had forecasted that 2019 was going to be the peak year, that we're never going to go above that level. That has all proven to be wrong, that the demand has come back furiously and the supply simply is not there. We don't have enough. And the investments which are taking place in the supply side are becoming less and less because of the green movement pressure. The green movement says, don't invest in the oil and gas business. We want to get rid of it. So they impact the supply side, but they have no power to impact the demand side. So if we have less and less supply, then we're going to have higher and higher prices. There is no two ways about it.
Dr. Fesharaki, at what point in time do you think alternates will start taking over? I distinctly remember we had this chat and you said that if crude prices go higher, fracking will come in. Alternates will start coming in. The world now has really figured out how to rely more on solar power and EVs and other alternate sources of fuel. Could that take over soon if crude prices remain stubbornly above $100?
No way. They become more and more important, but the big impact is going to be the impact of the electric vehicles, EVs, on the gasoline market. And that's the 2030s impact, it's not the 2020s impact. And the solar is coming in, but solar is not impacting the oil market. Solar is impacting coal market. and natural gas because it's in the power sector. You can't put solar in the cars and drive them right now because the EV systems and infrastructure is not in place. So alternatives will come in, but impact more the power sector than the automotive sector. So for the automotive sector, between now and end of 2020s, early 2030s, we only have one serious option, and that serious option is gasoline. There is no other serious option.